Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 81 of the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast. I am your host, Jazz Bennett, mother educator host, and I am elated to be with you on this fine Monday. I hope you guys have enjoyed, your weekend, and I hope you guys set your goals for this upcoming week, for this particular week that we are in. Set intentional goals. All right. Make sure that you are intentional every single day at the start of your day. How are you affirming the type of day that you're going to have? All right. So you have to start off with that positivity because Monday is bae to me. And you guys already know that. So I hope you've set intentional goals. And I really hope that by Friday, you see a return on all of the work that you've put in. So I just want to go ahead and invite you to be a part of my Jazzie crew. And in order to be a part of my Jazzie crew, is very simple. All you have to do is make sure that you follow and that you like my Instagram page, Jazzie, that's Jazzie, Conversations with Jazz on IG, Facebook, and on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe on all podcast platforms. Make sure that you subscribe to that YouTube channel so that you are a part of my Jazzie crew. And if you are interested in partnering with the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast, I invite you to get you some ad space. Ad space is where it's at. Get you a commercial for your business. Do you have an upcoming event? Do you offer a service? I want to know all about it, and I would love for you to partner with me. So just send me an email at jazzieconversationswithjazz@gmail.com, and I would love to discuss those options with you. So listen, we have a fantastic show for you tonight because my heart's fluttering because I get to talk to a couple, and we are going to talk to a couple about their love story, about their love journey, and who they are as individuals. So we're talking to an entrepreneur. We are talking to newlyweds. Newlyweds are my favorite, but these are not strangers to one another. So I'm going to give you a little insight. I'm going to give you a little tease when it comes to this couple before I bring them on. Before I bring them on, I need for you to make sure that you are sharing this particular live with everyone because we want to bring them into the conversation. If you have a question as we are going along in this conversation, please feel free. I want you to make sure that you review this episode on YouTube and also on your favorite podcast platform. All right, so this particular couple, the wife, I call her the wifey, Miss Simone Mcfarlane Tucker, is a serial entrepreneur, and she is definitely moving and shaking. She's been a guest on my podcast before. You may have remembered that episode where Miss Simone is actually the owner of Glamour Tag Consultation Services, LLC, and she also has I Am Simone Inc. All right, so she's all things travel. She's all things notary. She does a conglomerate of things, and she's finishing her MBA actually currently. So she's just a mover and shaker when it comes to business. Now let's talk about Rashawn. Rashawn is the hubby. I've coined him the hubby. Rashawn Tucker is a full-time HVAC technician, and he is the owner of Ray's Heating and Cooling HVAC Repair and Maintenance. So we're going to get to know them. I asked Simone to formulate what she considered to be their love story, their love journey. And here's what she had to say, but I'm only going to give you a snippet because I want her to finish the rest. So she said, I'd truly given up on love after failed relationship after failed relationship. How many of you have been there? Because I know what she's talking about. So Shawn and Simone dated almost 5 years ago. And things didn't work out because Shawn kept it real with her. Like he told her that he wanted to try to make things work out with a past relationship that he had children with his previous mate, right? And so he wanted to try to be an upstanding dude, an upstanding gentleman, and he wanted to try to make it work in that particular situation with the mother of his kids. So he attempted after that, after going back to another relationship. He attempted to stay in contact with Simone. He checked in on her. But she loved him so much. You know, when you love someone so much, you can't be friends with them. If you can't be with them, it's just like, I can't do it, right? So that's what Simone went through, right? And so fast forward to 2.5 years ago, all right? Shawn kept coming around and he kept checking on Simone, as you do when you are really, really into someone. It's something about it. Like, you just cannot let them go. It's something that keeps you guys connected. And so I did tell you that they're newlyweds. I'm going to leave you right there on that cliffhanger before I bring them in, because Simone is going to finish the love story. And it is one, because I love stories, right? So I'm going to bring both of them on. I have Simone, and let's see if they're going to give us some hope in that area. Because look, I love all things love. So hi, Simone, and hi, Shawn. How are you guys?
How y'all doing?
Look, we are good. We are good, but you guys are great. You guys are great because you were looking like two lovebirds sitting in the tree. I absolutely love you two. I love your chemistry. But before we get into that, how was your day?
Pretty good. I had a couple of notarizations today. We had some fingerprints today. We had a branding consultation, but they actually had to reschedule. And then I fell asleep at my desk. My daughter said,
how was your day?
A little bit, but other than that, it was good.
Oh, my day was good. You know, saw my kids, got to eat lunch with them, and my nephew and my niece. Got a brand new job offer, accepted it. Just, you know, just pushing forward, you know, always forward, never backwards. So that's very neat.
I love it. Listen, so I just saw you two in action on yesterday. Simone, do a recap of the event from yesterday, because you did a very great job at presenting your business and, you know, encouraging other women who are entrepreneurs themselves. So give us a quick recap of what went down yesterday.
Okay, and thank you for coming, and I know it was several other faces who I'm familiar with that came, and I appreciate y'all. So the event was called it was a business workshop event that was hosted by Janelle Lane, who's from Haines City, and actually the mayor of Haines City sponsored the entire event. So she got us the space, she got us everything we needed to be able to have that event. So that's how we were able to offer it for free. And it was just to encourage people to get out, start that business, because 2023 we can't just solely depend on a full-time job. A full-time job barely pays the bills and keeps gas in the car and puts food on the fridge. So it's important to have other sources of income coming in. And I was beating myself up because at the end of the presentation, I was going to show the travel presentation and show how you can start a travel business for really inexpensive, and it's like a turnkey business. That is how I got my first step into business, by doing the travel business. And then she also gave other business owners an opportunity to speak and talk about their business. So that was really exciting. And you know me, I like to, people who be scared to talk, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call you out every time. So because you can't be scared to talk about your business. How people gonna know how great you are if you're not telling them? You know, and that's one thing I love about Miss Talithia is she always starts her thing off with, "I'm your favorite notary." So, you know, I love that. Like, how people aren't going to know how great you are if you don't tell them. So you have to tell them how great you are, you know. And then once they do business with you, they'll see how great you are. You know, they'll see the receipts. They'll see the results. They'll see everything that goes with it. As long as you have your business structured the way that you're supposed to, and as long as you're treating your clients the same way you want to be treated, even if they're not treating you the same way. You know, you still got to be professional. It's just like having a corporate job. You're not going to cuss out Mr. Smith on the phone because his bill passed due. You're going to talk to him respectfully. And that's, you know, the same thing you have to do with your business.
You know what, and that's very true. And the one thing that I like about you, like when you move in and out of a room, like it doesn't even matter. Like, it matters not if someone in the room is doing the exact same thing that you're doing. Like, I always see that you do support, and that's what someone just commented in the comments, is that they love the fact that you are definitely a true supporter. So, like, what do you think that learned behavior is from? Like, where did you get that? Because you have so many people that I find that they are a little bit not necessarily subliminal, and I don't necessarily want to call it fake, but it's almost like faking it till you make it, because I think some people realize that, you know, you really shouldn't be hating on the same person that's doing something that you're doing, but like sometimes you feel it. Sometimes you're like, yeah, you're saying that you support me, but sis, I don't feel that. Like I'm watching you, and that ain't really what you're giving. So like, where do you, like, was it a learned behavior? Was it something that you had to grow yourself in, or are you just naturally that way, supportive?
I've always been that person that clapped for everybody, even when nobody was clapping for me, because I am a firm believer that what's for you is for you. The personality that I have, the energy that I bring to a room, people are gonna want to connect with me, and there may be others that may be like, okay, she a lot, you know, I can't connect with her, and I'm comfortable with that. I can direct you to somebody that you can connect with, you know. So for me, I've always been that person that clapped for people, because I knew my turn was coming, and my turn is here now. So
I know that's right. I know that's right. Shawn, like, what do you ever like give Simone advice, or do you ever tell her like to like calm it down, or don't give so much of yourself to that person because they're not giving it back to you? Like, what's your advice to Simone when you see how giving she is?
I'm always, you know, I always tell her don't be so green, but at the same time, you know,
Sounds like me.
When I first met her, you know, like, she's so bubbly, you know. She grew up in a white household, but look. I seen she grew up around love. You know, she was raised different than I was raised. You know, I was raised a little rougher. So seeing that, you know, it was kind of different and stepped back. You know, it made me question my feelings and my emotions and everything. And maybe, you know, it kind of made me open up emotionally and everything. And, you know, I learned a lot from her. You know, how she, you know, take over the room and everything. And she helps me, like the little speech thing yesterday, I was speaking publicly. She helped me, and, you know, and she, you know, applauded when it was over with and everything. So it's a teamwork, you know. I always tell her we one step from a million. So, I
like that. I like that. And I saw it. Like I just sit back because I'm an observer to my heart. But I sit back and I'm like, look at Simone. She don't coach Shawn.
Yeah.
Shawn better get ready to get up and give that elevator pitch. You dealing with somebody who's gone and like she's getting her MBA. Like she's ready. Like Simone, definitely from the day that I met you, what I can say is that you are definitely on go. And I am so proud of you. Like first of all, like I met you via social media. Like you reached out to me, and this was like when I was doing all of these contests for, you know, the first year anniversary of the first year anniversary for the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast, a live show. And like you just inboxed me, and it's like, you know, you won a ticket, but then it was like you reached back out to me and you were like, you know, my girls and I want to know if you have a VIP section, because we want to purchase that. And I'm like that was just so different, because, you know, people were all about trying to win stuff for free. They really weren't about that, but they were just at the point where they weren't about that. They were just at the point where it was just like they were just waiting, like, to try to win. But it's like what I really liked is the fact that, you know, you came in full force trying to support. And even at the event, like, you asked questions from the audience about, you know, starting your own podcast. And it's like, since that first meeting with you, it felt good. Like you have a spirit where it feels good to be around you. And I was just like, is this girl for real? Like I saw you and I'm like, you know, she's so pretty. Like, she's almost my twin. Like, you know, we don't take pictures with
People always say that.
Right. Like we've taken pictures where it's just like, I'm like, golly, because that, you know, right. Like when you were on my podcast, and it's like the picture that you chose, and I'm looking and I'm like, girl, like we look like we can be sisters, like, for sure.
I know my daddy is my daddy. So.
I'm like,
Do you?
my daddy, you know what that is?
Yeah.
That's so funny, but yes, that's exactly what I said. But I'm looking at this picture, and I'm like, I don't know, like what's going on. But I want to say, like, I love your spirit, and even with me being on your podcast, because I think that came up, as a topic, like, how do you feel when you first meet other women? Like, like, are you apprehensive? Are you just, genuinely nice? And I told you guys, like, I shared all of your personalities when it came to that, because it's like, I'm not so bubbly, but I am the sweetest person. But it's like, if you give me wrong vibes, you probably will not like me, because I'm not going to be as friendly to you. Like, I'm just going to wait and see. Like, I'm not a hateful person, but I'm just a cautious person. Right. But I look at people like you, Simone, who are just genuinely and openly, like, you just give love, you spread love. And honestly, it makes other people want to do that towards you. So I just, like your husband was like, stop being so green. But I'm like, you're one of those people that even if somebody did you wrong, like, I feel like it's going to come back to you full circle, where you're going to get what you deserve anyway, because you're just a sweet person. Right. And you've never been shy of giving resources. You've never been shy of giving it for free. Right. And I let me tell y'all something, that you better go ahead and soak it up while you can. Because that conversation is going to stop being free after a minute, all right? Because the girl is doing work. Look, she's capsulated all these gems, and she definitely can give you what you need in order to help your business grow. But I know that today's price, yesterday's price is not going to be today's price, all right? So you better tap into her. So I just wanted to give you your flowers there, because I truly do just appreciate you being like a good person, because it was so refreshing. And I'm like, wow, like, okay, Simone, like, Simone is genuine. I like her. Okay, I got you. And she posts more than I do, so I definitely like you.
I do. Some days I do take a chill pill. But when I don't post, then I get the people in my inbox like, what's going on? Why you ain't posting?
What's wrong with you? What's wrong?
And she be the main one. Like, okay, everything good. She's like, I like when you post, because even though you're not going live, we still know what's going on in your life. And so when I hear comments like that, that's what make me want to continue posting. Remember when I was saying yesterday at the event, like, hey, if you don't like it, unfollow me. And I mean that in the most humblest way. But I'm trying to attract clients. I'm trying to, attract connections. So people have to see your personality. They have to see how you engage. They have to see how you interact. They want to see your life, your family, your kids. So you have to post it. Of course, you can't post everything, but you got to post those special moments so people can get a little insight to your life, and relate to you. You got to be relatable.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. All right. And so, what were you saying, Shawn? All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to start our conversation with a little segment that I've entitled 21 Questions with Jazz. I'm not going to ask you a set of 21 questions, but we're just going to go with the flow. And so I'm going to ask you some questions, and, you chime in when this characteristic applies to you. All right. So with you guys being a couple, first and foremost, how long have you guys been a couple? How long have you guys been married?
6 months. We just hit 6 months in a couple days on the 17th of May.
She keeps track. I don't.
He don't keep track of none of that.
Well, congratulations on your 6.
Putting like an end date on it. I feel like I don't like to keep track of.
Well, there is an end date.
I'm just saying, that's like saying it's gonna end. I just like to be like, tell me when, the once a year thing. I don't like keep track of months, days, hours. Like.
And see, I'm like 6 months, 4 days, 3 hours, and 27 minutes.
No.
That'll be me. I'll be like, baby, we done made it a month, babe. Like, happy 1 month anniversary.
It's not a countdown, it's a count up.
It's a count up.
Made a month.
Be like, babe, we got 49 years and 11 months to go.
Yes.
All right, so you've been officially married for 6 months. All right. So let's see. So who was I don't want to say aggressor, but who noticed who first?
Me.
Shawn, you did. All right, Shawn, tell me about that moment. When did you see her?
I saw her, I was just on Facebook. I'm not going to lie to you. I was just on Facebook, and you know, at this time, Faithful had just got this Dane out. And I was on this little Dane out thing, and I had clicked on, and we had, what was it?
Connected. I forgot how it worked. Yeah.
And connected. And only way I could write her if we connect. So if we don't connect, I can't write. So we connected. And from there, I was writing her on there, you know, before I even got a number. I was writing her on there, and I had got a number. And then from there, you know, went to texting and everything. And it grew. And it was like, you know, it was that grown person love, you know, that grown woman love that I did have at the time, you know, not to be funny or nothing,
yeah.
But what I was going through was kind of childish, and I didn't have a woman, you know what I mean? Like, it's different, you know, so it helped me get through it and everything, and we here now.
So was it more of texting or was it more of calling?
It was more calling. It was more direct, you know, staying on the phone for hours other than texting for hours, you know. It was more a direct approach with it than indirect texting, and every now and then you will hit by text, you know. Yeah, that's good and everything when you don't want to be bother direct with that person. Right. Some people take text is wrong, especially you put in caps. Oh, my cap lock's on. You yelling at me, you know? Like, oh, you don't know, so. I'm like, I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna call them more of a direct person. If I like you, I'll let you know I like you, and I'll approach you. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't like people though. But I like her.
You don't like people, but you like her. I like her. And I feel like when you're into someone, whether it's a man being into a woman or a woman being into a man, or however, you know, you flow. I feel like that person should be able to feel that. I feel that. You know, if you're not a social person, if you're not a person that chases or whatever, I feel like all of that changes if you're really, really into the person. So for research purposes, because every single show that I do with couples and with love and all of that, I'm going to ask this specific question because I have too many grown friends, and even myself included, where you have guys that say that they are so into you, but they like to text. And so, Shawn, as a man, we can fully see that you are one and you have your woman, you're 6 months married. So you agree that texting ain't it. That's not how you show that you're interested in somebody. You can't just stay behind a keyboard. Is that factual?
Texting, this is how it works. If you call your main, you text your sides. Because that's insight got code type junk, you know. Because side pieces is indirect. They know it's indirect. They'll see it and, you know, I'll take somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your man, you know, you'll call, you know, shit, y'all call and everything. So texting, no, it's not it. No. You know, guys, if a guy's texting you, it's kind of like a red flag, you know. He's not trying to, you call him and he forwards you and he just text you, hold on, I'm doing something. I'll call you back. Never call you back. You know, the phone calls short and stuff. It's kind of it's a red flag. You ain't the only woman.
Okay, ladies, fellas. Here's yet another example of me proving that point. So I shall move on.
You're not.
Some people like to play with you. Like, stop playing with me. Like, what you doing? Okay, so Simone, when he reached out to you, what were you thinking?
He was attractive because I like tall, dark-skinned dudes, and with dreads, and he fit every category. And the crazy part is when we met in person, when he walked up to me, I was like, damn, like he's tall. Cause he's 6'3". So you know how people will like hype themselves up on like a dating app. They'll say they're taller than what they are. And so I'm thinking that's because I'm like, there's no way, because I was looking at other pictures of him on his profile where he's sitting on the car and stuff. I'm like, there's no way that he's 6'3", because I'm trying to compare him to the other people in the picture. I don't know who I thought I was. Because I definitely am not good at measurements or any of that.
Yeah.
And then when I met him for the first time, and I'm looking up like, oh, okay. And now seeing him next to my dad, because my dad is a 6'2" Jamaican, and he's taller than my dad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, yeah, he definitely is what he said he is.
I got you. I got you. Okay. All right. So I'm hearing you guys talk about, this online dating. And so did you guys have apprehensions like before doing that? Or was it just like, okay, this is where we're moving. Like this is the way of the ages. Like, all right, let's give online dating a try. Like, was it that type of situation?
I would tell you this, to be honest, if I didn't do that, I don't think I would have met her because I'm from the east side of Polk County. She's from the west side, so we from two different sides. Like she used to tap on East Orlando. She don't know Winter Haven. I know Winter Haven. I do
because I've been living over here.
She still don't know it like that.
That's what they make GPS for.
Yeah. So it get. I was about to say something, but whatever.
Yeah.
But
okay. So you had to step outside your box to meet her.
Because the funny part is right after we connected, because I think he connected with a few other women and I connected with a few other guys too. Mm-hmm. But right after me and him connected, I ended up closing down the app. I didn't even get back on it.
Yeah,
look at you, Shawn. Look at you. What you? Okay.
I thought that out. I don't know what happened.
I don't even know what happened to that.
It ain't on my Facebook no more.
It ain't on mine no more either.
I guess it knew we connected.
Right.
Okay. Like you're the second couple that I've met, no lie, like within the last week. Like this past weekend, I just spoke to someone where she met her special person on the Facebook dating app, and I'm like, damn, do I need to get on the Facebook app? Like, like what's going on? So I like that. So Facebook, just connecting people. That's what's up. That's what's up. So, what was your first date? Where did you go first?
Applebee's.
Yeah, Applebee's.
I back then I was like obsessed with Applebee's because they had this meal that I always got, and I used to love. Yeah, I love their salmon. So when you know how you can get the Bourbon Street chicken and shrimp. And instead of chicken, I would get salmon. And oh my God. So that's what we went for our first date. Because they always got the good drinks, the good appetizers. And I was just like obsessed with Applebee's. And he was like, where you want to go? Applebee's. Applebee's. I think we were supposed to go to a movie that night, a drive-in. But it ended up raining.
We supposed to
went to Lakeland to go to the drive-in.
No, we were to the movies.
It was a drive-in, man. It was Lakeland. Yeah. See, my memory way better than his. Yeah. I don't remember what movie we were supposed to go see, but I know we were supposed to go to a drive-in in Lakeland.
I'm just like, yeah.
You know what that man said on that show? Yes, dear.
Yeah, I think it's Batman. It was that bet. No,
I don't even much remember, but I just know that we didn't make it to the movies because it was pouring down rain. So we
gotcha. So I got you. So like in reading your love story, I know that 5 years ago is when you initially met. So this is like when this all popped off, etc. And so to Simone, take the lead in, or whomever. It doesn't necessarily have to be Simone. But when you think about your love story, like I love recapping potential love stories because I've done this with someone before, and it's like, oh, what would our love story be? So like when you look back on it, I know I read it in detail, and so I want you to map it out to everyone. Like we know the beginnings of it somewhat, but what headspace were you in? And so what's your love story?
So when me and Shawn first met, I kind of was in between spaces, I guess. I had put on a lot of weight due to a previous relationship and just kind of let go of myself in a little bit. I was also going to school full time, finishing up my bachelor's because I had just finished up my associates. And my mom was like, oh, you should take, a little bit of time to spend time with your kids. I'm like, no, Mom, if I don't do it now, because I tried to do this 10 years ago, if I don't do it now, It is not going to get done. So while all this information is fresh from my associates, I'm going to go ahead and put it into my bachelor's. And so I was going to school full time. I had just got out of a relationship with my ex. And that's kind of where Shawn kind of like snuck his way in. So I called myself like trying to date. But the person who I really wanted to spend time with was Shawn, because we just connected on a different level. Like he would come over. We would have about 4-5 bottles of wine.
Not glasses, but bottles. Y'all talking bottles.
Yes. I had him obsessed with wine. We would sit up and watch.
What kind of wine was
Arbor
it?
Mist.
What movie? We watched the Italian Job.
Yeah, like we would just sit up and watch movies and talk about our past. So it felt like a best friend. And when he came to me, because he had just prior to him coming to tell me that, hey, I'm gonna try to make things work with my baby mama, he had just told me that he think now that he was falling in love. So I'm thinking, okay, we may be progressing to night, yeah, I do remember that night. Because I remember your baby mama kept calling you too.
So listen, time out. We gonna put a pause in that, and we're gonna put a pause in that.
Okay.
Shawn, so Simone was just getting out of a relationship with someone. And Simone, how long was that relationship?
10 years. Almost 10 years. Yeah.
I feel you on that. Oh Lord, I feel you on that. And so Shawn, because I also feel you on this point too, because I don't know if it happened for me or not. It may have. But what you met Simone, and I'm pretty sure she was checking off all these boxes, and you yourself, you said that, you know, you had never met a woman like her before. So what was it in you that just said, okay, I'm gonna have a timeout with Simone though, and now I'm just gonna try to focus on trying to, you know, like
work on the family.
And work on your family. What was that? Is it just did you come from a 2-parent household where that's what you wanted for your kids, or you didn't and you wanted that for your kids?
It was my mom and my dad got married in 92. I think 92. And my mom was married. I seen it, even though she got divorced. I seen it. She got remarried, second marriage, but I seen it. You know, it's a marriage. I had something to look towards marriage. You know, ups, downs, whatever. Around the corner, I had something to look forward to. And the person I was with, you know, she come from a different lifestyle. Her mom was never really married like that. So she grew up in a single woman thing. And so therefore her mindset, I ain't gonna say towards men, was it was different, you know, a lot different. So marriage wasn't in her bracket. Like, it wasn't there. And so with her, you know, it was easy to take those steps and everything because we both wanted it and we both wanted to work towards it. It's hard trying to work towards it with a person that, you know, I hate to say it, want to be an independent woman. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem. I hate when a woman say she don't need a man. You know what I mean? Like that right there, girl. How you feel like you don't need a man? Like, you know, I know you independent and you can do things on your own, but at the same time, a woman do need a man just as much as a man needs a woman. You know, you just gotta find your fit out there. You know, and if you got a woman that feel like she don't need a man and you with her, you need to take a step back and evaluate the situation and leave. You know, because it ain't gonna get better. It's just gonna be she gonna try to run it like it's just her. Everything gonna be separate, and it's just gonna be you on the outside looking in your own relationship. So, yeah, it was a lot different dating her, and you know, easier to make those steps and stuff.
Yeah, and so just going back, like the wanting to make, you know, your family work. Like, is that what you discovered about her when you tried to go back? Like, was it for the kids or was it just?
I tried to go back for the kids, you know, numerous times for the kids, you know. Because, like I said, I grew up in a marriage. My mom always tried to make it work. You know, my dad was Rolling Stone. So my mom always tried to make it work for the kids, you know, for the kids' sake. But, you know, I had to learn as a man, you know, I'm gonna have to swallow that loss. You know, that's one of the biggest losses as a man. Another man raising your kids and you being, you know, disconnected from them and out the household. You know, that's a big L. I don't know what man can really take that L and, you know, walk away with a smile or walk away like, yeah, you know, because it hurts, you know. And I still hurt, you know. I miss my kid. I went down there and saw him. It hurts. But at the end of the day, that relationship, I had to get away from that for my mental. You know, the arguments, the stress, the domestics, the police about to get called. It was crazy, you know, and my kids saw that, you know, and I had to break it. I had to, yeah.
Like I commend you for that. And I wanted to, you know, dive deeper into that because, you know, I know that other guys may have been in that predicament, or maybe other guys are not, you know, into that in that predicament. So I just wanted to just know, you know, what made you as a man want, you know, to do that, because I find in just my conversations, it's just easier for a guy to just move on into another situation. But I commend you for actually trying to go back and trying to make that work. And so just seeing that dynamic. And so going back to you, Simone, because, you know, when you heard that that's what he wanted to do, he wanted to go back and make it work with the mother of his kids. Like, what did that do for you? And then how did you proceed in this love story?
It definitely hurt me, but at the same time, it made me gain more of a respect for him, because he could have easily just played both sides, you know, and, you know, played her, played me until it hit the fan.
Lose.
Yeah.
Right
and the crazy thing is, if he would have done that, he would have never had an opportunity to spin the block again. So he had the opportunity to spin the block, because he kept it real, and he was like, listen, I do care about you, but I need to try to make this situation work. And it also got, he didn't say this part, but I'm going to say this part. It also got to the point where she was like trying to keep his kids away from him because she knew that he was seeing somebody else. And so I feel like that also contributed to why he went back, and the fact that he grew up in a household where his father was there but wasn't. And it's kind of like how my household was. My parents are married. My parents are married for 20 something years, but my dad was never there. He was always in the streets. So I guess, I don't know if that's what his reason was for going back, but like he said, both of us wanted marriage. Like, I knew I wanted marriage. It's crazy. This is so off topic. My dad came here the other day and he was like, Shawn, you a better man than me.
Yes.
He was like, you're a better man than me. He was like, my daughter will tell you, I was never home. I was always in the streets. He was like, and the fact that you get off of work every day and he comes straight home. He may stop and see his daddy. He may go to his mom's house, because his parents live very close to us. So his dad lived in the same city as us, and his mom lived in the city right next door, like 3-4 miles from us. Yeah. And so he'll go over and he has his because he's like a big fruit eater. Like, this man, we could be driving down the road and he'll see fruits hanging off the tree. Oh, baby, oh, there's oranges. He want to get out and stop traffic. He just want to get out and stop traffic to go and grab a couple oranges off the tree. He was like, "Oh, okay. That mango tree? No, babe, I did not see the mango tree." You should be looking at the wrong.
You'll love Miami. Like, it's fruit everywhere on the corner of Miami. You'll love it.
Yeah. At my mom's house, I was growing like a little tropical fruit garden.
And he still is. He got pineapples over there. He got red pineapple. So he'll go over there and he'll check on, because he has small siblings too. Okay. So he'll go over there and check on his siblings. So I love the fact that he is such a family man. Yeah. And we always tell each other that, like, our past relationships are just different. Like, our connection is so different. He's the first man that I have been with that I'm able to just be my authentic, raw self. You know, when we first started dating, I was dealing with panic attacks a lot, and he was there for every single panic attack. I would always swear up and down something was wrong with me. He would be taking me to he looking at me like, why are you saying this right now? Because it is what it is. Like, I was going through some things when we first started back dating this time, and he just rolled with the punches and was there for me, and that's just what grew my love for him and just made me fall in love with him even more. Because most people would have ran from that, you know. And he didn't,
you know? If you with someone, you know, if you really with someone, if you really rocking with someone, whatever, you gonna rock with them, lose, win, draw, wheels fall off, or whatever. You know, it is what it is. You know, life is too hard and too short to, you know, have these. How can you say? Um, temporary connections with people. You
Yeah.
know, is if you're gonna connect, you're gonna connect long term with someone because you're gonna need. You know, life is too hard by yourself. You know, you always gonna need help. Everybody need help, so you need to connect long term connections. Forget short term. You know, I may forget your name. I don't know who that was. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I look at it.
Simone, you talked about, you know, just him being there, you know, in your time of need, etc. And so I had a coworker, it just reminded me of a story that she stated. She's like, you know, she was, you know, talking to, and she's older, she was talking to someone, you know, and they were you know, talking on the phone, and I guess he was not necessarily pursuing her, but she said what really got her is that, you know, like in her time of need for something, like I think she said it was like maybe her dryer or her washing machine or something broke, and she's just like, one day he showed up at her house with a brand new washer and dryer or something, and she was just like, oh my God, you know, like you really listened or you really paid attention. And so like, Shawn, like what is it that made you step in and fill in the gap? Because I know Simone was like, she was hard on times, you know, when you guys reconnected and you assisted her. Like what made you want to do that? Because you got some guys that's not going to do that. Yeah, they're not going to do that. They think they the prize, and they want to see what a female's going to do for them. You know, so I'm just wondering.
At the time,
for research.
Research purposes.
At the time, you know, before we got serious and I moved in, I was staying in my apartment, but I was staying like every 2 to 3 nights or whatever.
Well, this is before you moved in. This is before you even was staying over here a lot. You was helping with bills.
Oh yeah. I'm saying, I was helping. Yeah, but I was staying at my apartment at the same time. I was helping with what's going on over here and everything. And she kept telling me she wanted do her own business, and because she had a business traveling business, but she let that go. She didn't let it go. She merged it all. Remember, you merged it all. And, you know, I was like, oh, wow, you know, and at the time, you know, I was staying here more than I was staying at my apartment, you know, so it was just like, it was easy for me to let my apartment go and, you know, help pick up what she left off at and help her with her, what she wanted to do, because she wanted to start her own business. So I was just like, well, why not, you know? What you need to start your own business. Well, you say you need to get that office space, get it. Well, you know, the dude got it available, get it. You keep talking about you don't know if it's gonna be still open, so might as well just go ahead and get it, you know. Don't question what God got for you. There's a reason why it's like that, you know. Things happen for mysterious reasons, you know, so you don't question it, you just go ahead and do it. Boom. I moved in, you know, because I knew she needed help in a way, because she wanted to do her business, and only way she could do her business full time is she needed the help for the time being. She don't really need me no more now. Her business.
Not true. Not true. Not true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, so it was easy for me to, you know, move in, help her and everything, because I know, you know, if I help her, I was helping myself. You know, I'll get it. It'll come back in the end run. You know, it's investment type jump. So that's how I looked at it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, so Simone, you have kids, right? And so, what was that process with you letting someone else into your life? Like, how did that process go about?
So I think it kind of went easy because my kids already knew Shawn from a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. So and then the fact that we dated for several months before he moved in, and my kids just seeing how happy I was, how he would come over and spend time, and we'll sit in the living room and watch movies. He would go out in the the front yard
Yeah,
and throw football with my son.
Roller skating.
We would go roller skating, and he was like, "I want some roller skates." So we
didn't think I could do it.
I didn't think he could rollerblade. I didn't think he could rollerblade. So he ended up getting himself some rollerblades, and we would be out there rollerblading in the neighborhood, throwing the football. And so my kids, and that was before he moved in, they really grew to appreciate that. So I think because of him doing that, it just made the transition easy. I didn't get no, who, why he moving in? I didn't get any of that. Plus, my kids know I thought them anyway. Don't be questioning me when you don't pay no bills.
But Simone, you legitly, and Shawn, you may agree with this too, but your kids are they're so sweet.
Yeah.
Like they're so genuine. Like, listen, I walked into the event yesterday and your daughter just lit up. Like I was Auntie Jazz or something. And I'm like, oh my God. Just like that, Shawn.
Yeah, they all bubbly like me.
Yeah. My oldest,
but her oldest ain't.
My oldest, he's more like, who are you? What do you do?
He like me. He don't like people.
He's an introvert to the core.
Yeah.
But my daughter and my baby Applejack, we call him Applejack.
Yes.
Just he's an Aquarius too. I think they got something to do. He's just a sweetheart.
Probably.
He is. He call us crybabies, but Geminis are the ones that's emotional. Okay. Yeah. They got 12 personalities. But we ain't gonna talk about that right now.
I don't think we got time.
Just yet.
Right. Next
but they are so sweet. And it's like I watched their interactions. Like I've been with you, seen and been in the same environments with you guys for enough times to be able to see how you interact. Simone, even when I invited you the first time by yourself on my podcast, like I thought it was so cool that you wanted Shawn there. You wanted your daughter there. You wanted your two sons there because you wanted them to see you on your journey of what you were doing. And I was just like, wow, like this is like a family thing. And then Shawn is on every episode in the background, a part of the production crew on your podcast.
Yeah, when you see him, you see me. And
yes.
Like we could just be riding to the corner store to go get peanuts. He'd be like, "Babe, I'm coming with you." And the crazy part is, it don't even matter. Like this weekend, this Friday when we was out shopping for my son because he just graduated high school, and we were going. Thank you. We kind of was going back and forth a little bit that whole day. So I would hop out the car, slam the door all extra. I'm thinking he ain't going to come in. Man, he'll park that car next thing you know, I turn around, he's standing right there.
I ain't got to say nothing, I'll just be on my phone. I'm
thinking to myself, I knew he was going to come in, and I loved it. Like, he's the type that he will not let us go to bed angry. No. And we having a disagreement, he will sit there and aggravate me. He'll be like, "Babe, I can't sleep. We're going to have to, it don't matter what time it is.
You got to figure this out.
He will not let me go to bed angry. He will not. He'll tickle me. He'll do whatever he has to do to make me forgive him. I can't stay mad at him and it irritates me because I like to hold a grudge every now and then.
Right.
But I don't with him. And I tell him all the time, I say, you make me sick because I can't even stay mad at you.
Shawn is like, you got 24 hours. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Give me 24 hours.
No.
He don't even give me 24 hours. I may get 24 minutes. But he don't even. Before that night, he said 24 seconds. Before that night is over, we're gonna be back like it never happened.
Yeah. He's gonna turn into a beat rub.
Yeah, because he'll like, let me give you a massage, man. Let me rub your feet.
You rubbing feet? Okay.
Oh yeah, he a foot man.
She'll go to talk to me, man. I'm sorry about what happened. You keep rubbing my feet.
Yeah. Don't stop.
Okay, so this question is a serious question back to you, Shawn. Okay. Being able to fall in love with a woman who's Simone has so many good things going for her. She's a great person. You said that she's a great woman, a woman that you've never had before. And, her kids are easy to be there for, and you get along with them, and you guys just mesh together. That's your person. Like, how do you as a committed father, how do you make sure that what is the magic and everything that's going on in your household here, you still share that with your other kids? Like, how is the balance with that?
With that right there, I take, it's hard to Cause the only way I can see it's hard for me getting my kid. That's another subject. You know, I take time out the day. Like today, I went down there and ate lunch with him. But with me and my child, mother is just not seeing eye to eye. We just don't see eye to eye. You know, it's just not eye to eye. You know, courts. You know,
is it just like not seeing eye to eye with you being able to see them, like whenever you want to?
Whenever I want to, whenever I try to plan to see them, whenever you just not eye to eye on nothing. We're not seeing eye to eye on nothing, and it sucks, you know. And it sucks, you know. Like I try, you know, I really try. I give you what you want. You want child support, you got it. You know, everything, you know. It sucks.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah.
And so I hate, like, I only asked you that because I feel like I can see that in you, and I hate that for men who are genuine like you. You know what I mean? Because I feel like no woman should stop a father from seeing their kids and just having that relationship with him, like regardless of if the relationship failed or not. I feel like those feelings should be put aside, and you need to look at, you know, the relationship with your kids. So I really hope you get to a point in that situation where, you know, you really can do what you want to do for your kids, because it's obvious that you are, you know, a good dude. And I'm like, you know, you said, oh God, you said the child support. Oh Lord, you said child support.
I don't care about
like,
that.
you're even, you know, you're even willing to do that. So I'm a proponent. I'm a proponent of a great father, right? And so, like with this platform, you know, like if you come on here and like I can see that you are a great father. Like, I'm just going to give you your kudos and give you your flowers. I know you got a beautiful woman that's sitting beside you that gives it to you all the time. But just from someone on the outside looking in, like, this is a great father, a great dude. And I hope that hearts are softened, you know, for you to be able to do what you need to do. Like I said, you know, we have adult emotions, and sometimes we're irrational. Sometimes we're jealous. I don't know if it's the jealousy with your relationship that you have with Simone. I don't know what it is.
I'm trying to
I don't know. But all of that.
Figure it out. We thought we figured out it's something else. No, we don't know. It's always changing.
Yeah. So I guess in that situation, you just have to, you know, just pray. And then, you know, you just, like you said, you hit up the court system like you're doing. So I feel that I know you got that covered. And I know you're probably, you know, taking care of what you need to take care of. And so just keep doing what you can do. Keep doing what you can do. And so you guys had that, you met 5 years ago.
Yep.
You reconnected 2.5 years ago. How was the reconnection 2.5 years ago different from 5 years ago?
Better. Yeah. It was better because I was freer. You know, I ain't have to, you know, I had no limits. You know, I was limitless. You know, if what you want to go to Clearwater, let's go to Clearwater, go to Krabby's. You know, like
we both love to travel. So when we first started talking years ago, we always talked about travel, and I actually had invited him on a trip with me to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm, New Orleans.
And he said he was gonna go. That's when he first told his mom and his sister about me, and they was like, and he showed them a picture.
Yeah.
And they was like, "Oh, you should go.
Yeah,
and then he made the decision to go back, so we ended up not going. But now we travel all the time. Like he took me to Savannah, Georgia, because I was telling him how I love Savannah, Georgia. So he took me to Savannah, Georgia for my birthday. Not for my birthday, for Valentine's Day. And then for Mother's Day, he was like, okay, what you want to do for Mother's Day? I'm like, I just want to go to Clearwater. So we end up going to Clearwater for Mother's Day, but we haven't been traveling as much. I traveled a whole bunch last month, but he couldn't come because he was on the project for work. Mm-hmm. But traveling is something that both of us are passionate about, and that's one thing that I love about him is that my ex, I couldn't travel with him because he was always in trouble with the system and on probation. He couldn't leave the state of Florida. He barely could leave the dang old house. So with him, it's like we had no restrictions, and it's like we did what we wanted to do. On the weekends, that was our time, you know. So on the weekend, we found something to do, somewhere to go.
Gotta hit that reset button every weekend.
Yeah, I love it.
Anniversary weekend, our year anniversary, that whole month, every weekend he took me out somewhere.
Yep,
we was going every weekend for that whole month. We was doing something.
Look at you, love and stuff.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I say you got a top back this year because we're married now.
You know?
2 months.
Yeah, I don't know how you gonna top back this year.
How did your friends feel about you two?
That's the funny part. Every single person in my family that has met Shawn has loved Shawn, including my daddy. And my dad is not an easy person to like men that I'm dating, but he truly loves Shawn. He has told me on several occasions that he loves Shawn. My cousin is also one that does not care for men. My cousin Brittany, she's one that don't care for men either that I date. And my best friend Oris, they all just love Shawn. Like my mom loves Shawn, my stepdaddy loves Shawn, my brother loves Shawn. Every family member that has met him has loved him, and it's the same thing with his family. When I met his auntie, she told Shawn, she said, "You better marry her." And we tried to get married before she ended up passing. Rest in peace, Auntie Sheila. She ended up passing in August, and we tried to get married before then. But the budget and the time, it was just too quick. He proposed to me via text message.
I was gonna ask you, how did you propose, Shawn? So wait, come say what now? Come again and say that what now? We hit my little Duval. Come again, say what now?
He proposed to me. What, you know what? I'm not even bent out of shape about it.
Listen.
What?
I've been proposing. That text message one was just one of many. I've been proposing.
So give us the other times that you proposed. Let's go. Let's run it down the list.
She took all my proposals as joke. I guess she took the text message one as
more serious. Because then we had a conversation. I was like, what? I said, are you really proposing to me via text message? She was like, let's do it.
But she was like, I've been proposing because she was like, what make you think you want to marry me and all that? And, I guess it was me telling her, looking at rings, telling her, I'm going to get you this ring when you marry. And then that's what, I guess caught her attention, the whole shopping for the engagement ring thing. Then she was like, oh, I got it. And they're like, but I've been saying this, though, you know what I mean? But I guess. I said it.
That's what that means. Cause I guess I was supposed to take that serious. I'm just kidding. You gotta be direct. I thought we just looking at rings. I thought we were just looking at rings. We just taking a field trip to the jewelry store, right?
Like I didn't know what we was doing.
I be hating to take her to the jewelry store.
I didn't know what we were doing.
To pick out the ring. She go out there and she pick out the
$5,000 ring. He be like, we ain't there yet. The funny part is we were actually supposed to have just a courthouse wedding. We were just going to do a simple courthouse wedding, nothing major. Yep. His mom was like, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. We're not doing that. Yep. So she actually ended up finding these people who I will not say their name because they are horrible. Right. But I'm not into bashing businesses. But yeah, they were complete garbage. We never got our wedding photos or anything.
Oh, wow.
But she ended up finding this family that seems very successful, have a lot of good reviews. Yeah. But how they did us was wrong. But our wedding was very beautiful. Mm-hmm. And she ended up paying for our wedding. She paid for my dress. She paid for his suit. She paid for majority of everything for our wedding. Mm-hmm. So we ended up having a nice, simple wedding. She was like, listen, I don't want you 20 years from now to regret that you had a courthouse wedding. I want you to have memories. And I'm so happy that I didn't fight her on it and that I took, what she said, and like, you know what, man, we actually should, especially if she offering the baby boy, like, come on now, we crazy if we don't.
It wasn't that much. It was under $800 though.
But it was looking at the wedding, you would have thought it was more because it was.
I wouldn't have thought that. Like, you guys had a beach wedding, like it was beautiful. Like, and oh my God, I hate it when I could not come to the thing that you were having it on the beach. I was like, oh my God, like I wish I could come. Like
I you had to go that day, but I remember
no idea. But I whatever it was, because listen, I love the beach and I love a beach wedding. It's like almost every time I go to the beach, someone's getting married. And I'm like, I want to have a beach wedding, or do I want to? And I'm like, I really think I want to have a beach wedding. So when you said you were having one, I'm like, dang it. I can't even go. And then on top of that, I just wanted to celebrate the two of you, because just from the small interaction that I had seen, with the two of you, I love when people are unashamed and they are just open with loving on one another, And so, like, do you have is there any kind of adversarial side of something that you guys had to come together to kind of check or deal with?
Like, what you mean?
Like, is there anyone who didn't want to see you guys together, and it's like you're like, no, like we're gonna do it again. So
I would say,
how did you?
to my knowledge, she's probably about the only one that I would say, even though
very outspoken.
She tries to say that she doesn't care, but I'm all about actions, and when your actions don't line up with your words, you know, your actions say this, but your mouth says something else. So your actions over here, your mouth over here. So I would say she is the only one, to my knowledge, that has had something to say and continuously has something to say about our relationship.
Yeah. And I think so, Shawn, with that, I mean, was everything set up properly? Like, so I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Okay.
When you knew that you wanted to propose to Simone, was it something that you felt that you needed to tell her, or it was like, I mean, like for your children's mother, like, was it something that you felt that you wanted to give her a heads up on?
Oh, well, she didn't know about the proposal and the marriage thing till I think after we got married.
No,
why?
Was it before?
It was before, because your daughter told Shawn.
Yeah. So it was around November, well, a month before we got married, a couple of weeks or something.
Before we got married, because they had been split up 2 years before me and him even started back dating. They had been split up.
And
do you feel like would you approach that differently? Like, would you have told her?
I feel like if I would have told her or not told her, like left it the same, it would have been the same. She don't, you know, I don't want to bash nobody, but she lashes out, you know, and so she would have lashed out then. She would have lashed out. That's what she does, you know. And I ain't gonna say it's a defense mechanism, but it's a emotional distress thing with her, you know. That's how I look at it, you know. When she somehow emotionally distressed or something, emotionally dealing with her, she lashes out in ways, you know, and it's childish ways. Yes. So it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter if I would have told her then, or told her the day of, or 6 months down the line before. It wouldn't matter. She wouldn't be.
Because she was adamant that she wasn't gonna because we wanted his daughter to be the flower girl, and we wanted his son to be the ring bearer, and she was adamant that she was not gonna allow them to be in the wedding. But my thing is,
from out the wedding.
Yeah, my thing is, if you're over him and you are the one that talked about the fact that you broke y'all up, you separated the relationship, you told him to go about his business. What's the problem? You should be happy that your kid's father found love in someone else. Because I prayed that for my kids' fathers. I prayed that they find love and they find someone who can tolerate them. I don't wish like my Applejack's dad. Him and his wife have been together for several years, and when I'm telling y'all, when it's Mother's Day, I text her Mother's Day. Me and her communicate more than me and him. Like, all four of us can sit and have a conversation. It's no issues. And he said all the time. We don't have it, too. Yeah, like they done came over to the house to drop my son off, and we done all sat in the garage and conversated and talked. And he was like, "Babe, I can't wait till we can get to that point with your baby mama." I say, I would with my baby mama. I'm like, she has to heal first. Like he'll say, "Babe, I pray that she find a good man." I'm like, you can't pray that she finds a good man. She needs to heal internally first, because ain't no man gonna deal with somebody. Ain't no good man gonna deal with a woman like that. You have to pray for internal healing first. So when I pray for her, because I do pray for her, just like I pray for his kids, just like I pray for my enemies every single night. When I pray for her, I pray that her heart heals. So then a good man can come in and fill in, you know, whatever gaps need to be filled in. But she has to do some soul searching and some soul healing first. And I'm not saying that to bash her, because I definitely had my points in life where I was a bitter woman. Never to the extent of the level that she takes it.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had my points where I didn't want to deal with my baby daddies. I hated the fact that I had to take my kids around them, but I knew that it was bigger than me, and this ain't about me. This was about them. So I had to be that bigger person, like, okay, get out the car. Don't come to the car and talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. But now, I'm past that with both of them, because there's like absolutely nothing there. But I just hope that they find someone. Well, my Applejack's daddy already has, but Trey and Kira daddy, I hope that he finds someone that really genuinely loves him, that he can genuinely love, and they can help him raise these kids.
and I can see that you have a spirit like that, and I'm really glad that you took that, that position. I will say that it's difficult, like when you feel like you have I guess not really been shown like some of the respect that you thought you would get from the person, because I didn't know, like when my people when my kid's father recently got engaged and recently got married, like I found out through Facebook. And that just wasn't the business. I'm just going to tell you that just, out of all the years and everything that we'd gone through, you think that the relationship is better than that. You think that, hey, you were best friends with this person before. Like, don't try to make me be out to be the villain where you act like you can't express that to me. Like, that's why I asked you that question, because I think our relationship would be totally different had things been done properly. But it's like, you can't just bust up and just let somebody find out something like that on Facebook. Like, don't treat me like I'm just an irrational, mother of your kids. Like, no, like we've been able to co-parent decently for a while. Like, I, never keep you from your kids. And, it's like, it's none of that. So that's why I asked you that question. Cause I'm like, why is this girl tripping? Like how I've seen you guys explain that she's tripping. And I'm like, well, let me ask if it was done properly. And like, you have some people that feel like they don't necessarily owe you an explanation, or they don't owe you this or whatever. But I beg to differ, because I feel like if you want that relationship, like you were saying before, like it just needs to be done, in order, because then that gives that person an easier way to accept what's going on. But like you said, like being able to get to the point where you can buy Mother's Day gifts and all of that, because that person is with your kids.
Right.
Like Simone will be with your kids, etc. And it should be at that point where you guys can be like loving adults, because those kids need to see love from each entity. And so I see that, from your angle. And so like Simone, like you said, like pray for whatever her hurt is. Like that ain't me. That ain't me at all. But I'm just like,
like with her, it's like, the old saying, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
As long as she hurt, she gonna keep lashing out to hurt people. That's just what it is. As long as she still got hurt, so every time she don't do nothing but lash out to hurt. I try to get her way to tell hurt me or some crazy junk. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I don't like. She asked me a lot. Was she like this when you used to talk to her? No, she wasn't. But it's like in my head, it's like there's no. How can you end a relationship? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can you end a relationship with someone for 8.5 years? What is it? You want to leave, but that person 8.5 years, that person's like, no, you ain't going nowhere. But you want to, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how she gonna have to learn how to take a step back, evaluate, and learn herself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, love herself or whatever, because it's over.
Yeah.
That's what it comes. At the end of the day, it's over. You gotta learn to move on. You gotta move on.
It's a point like where she's bashing, and she'll like try to like. She's that type of person that will try. She will go and like probably zoom in on your picture and try to find things wrong with you. Like there was a time last year where my face.
It's time out for what I'm gonna do. It's time out for that, because I will block you. Yeah. Like,
but she's
that's childish. Like, we're not doing that. And honestly, I'm not even gonna look at your page. I can tell you right now, I ain't seen that damn page. I don't want to see it. Like, I'm good. Like, what am I zooming on your girl, please?
You have fake pages, because some stuff that she be saying and some stuff that she be doing, she have to be following our pages to do that. You know what I'm saying?
My page public too, so.
And my page is public as well. So even though I have her page blocked, I have her sister page blocked, I have her brother page blocked, her mama page blocked, I have her best friend Betsy page blocked, but I don't know all her friends, you know, and it's like, okay, well, if I'm that important to where you got to use somebody else's phone to follow what I'm doing, hey, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna stop being who I am to make you feel good about yourself. Like,
I got you. So here, I think just praying over that situation, because I think you really hit it on the head, Simone. Like both of you guys have, you know, just praying that, you know, her heart is softened, because I don't see where you're not trying to be cordial to her, where you're not just ignoring her like she doesn't exist. So I feel that, you know, I feel like you're taking the proper steps, and hopefully, you know, it will get to a good point where you guys can have that, you know, hey, come over and get your Mother's Day gifts. I got you some, girl. So
like, I pray and hope that it can get to that point. You know, I was telling him today, because she was like, oh, she just hate me so much. It's like, it's crazy, because I have no feeling for you. And to me, that's worse than hate. Like, I can't ever say that I've hated somebody, but I have no feeling to you. I'm just numb to you because you just say hurtful things and you just say mean things. I wasn't raised like that. You know, my mom always told me that if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. And I live by that. Like, if I can't say something nice about you, I'm not going to sit out here and call out your faults or call out your insecurities. You can be Kim Kardashian and Beyonce, but I'm sure if you talk to Kim Kardashian and Beyonce, I'm sure they have insecurities about themselves. You know what I'm saying? So we all have insecurities. She's that person that likes to try to pull at what she finds as an insecurity in that person. But you can't tell me nothing about me that I already don't know about me. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been a few times where I have lashed out at her, and then I beat myself up. Like, why is you letting this girl pull you out of character? This is not you. Like, this is not you. You have to stop it. Yeah, so we be having to have those moments, because she be pulling him out of character. I be having to pull him back to the world. She be pulling me out of character. He be having to snap me back.
But I love that you guys find peace in one another. Yeah, and that's the most important thing. And so, like, Shawn, when you look at Simone, like, what are, like, give me the top 3 qualities that it's like Simone just does it for me with these 3 things. Look at how he's smiling already.
Well,
oh, y'all so cute.
Top 3, I got more qualities. Well, I'm just gonna keep it G. I love her personality. You know, I love her personality. I love that she's a good mother to her kids. I love that she's a hard worker. I love the fact that she's kind of on the 5'5", so she on the average.
Yeah, he likes something a little bit taller. Even though I'm only 5'5", but I always wear heels.
So yeah,
I'm gonna say, Simone, you cannot be 5'5", but that's your heels. That's your heels.
Got on heels.
Yeah.
Always.
That's how I am too.
Yeah. So you know.
Okay.
When we first met, and we first talked, I had just a little snippet, and you know, like I said, man choose woman, and with that snippet, I seen she had good wife qualities in her or whatever, and that's what made me, in a way, more interested in her. You know, someone I know I could build with, you know, an empire. You know, it's like you get a snippet of that person, and you go to the next person, you talk to the next person, and the next person talk, let's turn up this weekend. Yeah, like, hold on, what was I just said? Like, no, we ain't doing this. I'm down there 30, you know, at that time. So
over 39.
Yeah. So I seen the good qualities in them, you know. And like I said, I'm not to be pointing out, like, dang, you know, the older guy must was gay or something. Like, how the heck they don't do nothing or not? I don't know. But I seen good qualities in her and everything. And, you know, I knew she was my wife when I met her.
That's why I have really come to the conclusion of, because both of you guys have been in long-term relationships, but that's why. because that wasn't your person.
Right.
And so it's things that they can't see.
Right.
It's things that they weren't meant to see. It's like it's between the two of you to see. You know what I mean? And so, Simone, what do you see in Shawn that you really love about him?
I love his the fact, and this finna sound so crazy, and I'm probably gonna get beat up, y'all, after I say this. I'm just saying. I love how he's kind of like submissive. Like we're both submissive to each other. You know, I have my moments where he'll let me take control. We don't have roles. We don't have I'm the man. I just worked all day. You go in there and wash the dishes and cook dinner. Like when I came home, he was in there prepping chicken. You know, I love that about him. I love how much he loves his kids. And I love how much he like shows me that he loves me. Like he tells me every day. We could just be sitting watching TV, and he'll just look at me and he'll be like, "Babe, you beautiful as hell." Like he tells me that all the time. Like even on days where I'm like, "Oh, I look a mess," he'd be like, "Babe, I don't know what you looking at, but you are fine. You are gorgeous to me." Like he tells me that all the time, and he's always told me that. When I was 411 pounds, which he still don't even believe that. Like he don't believe that.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
He don't believe that when we met almost 5 years ago that I was 411 pounds. And even then, I think that's what made me fall in love with him even more. Even then, he would always tell me how beautiful I was. He would always tell me how sexy I was, because that's when I was kind of at my lowest mentally. Yeah. Because I was dealing with a lot of things. I had put on so much weight due to depression and being in an abusive relationship and moving to a whole nother city. Even though it's just Lakeland, I'm from Lakeland, and moving to Winter Haven, people are like, that ain't really a big deal. For me, that was a big deal because I grew up in Lakeland. Most of my family on my mom's side in Lakeland, my family on my dad's side is all over in Jamaica and other places. But he always just made me feel like I was that person. He always made me feel like I was important, even when I didn't feel that. And I love how he treat my kids. Like he treat my kids like they're his kids, You know,
saw that movie Shallow Hal?
I promise. I was just thinking about that. I was like, he probably couldn't see any of that. He was looking at me like Cameron Diaz or something.
I meet her this. I'll show you this night. Okay. I meet her this time, and it's like we never left up. You know, it's the same jump. Then she turned me on. I was this much. I was like, you ain't no 411 pounds. You the same. You look the same. What are you talking about?
I showed him pictures. And he was just like, well, you still was sexy. He was like, I don't know what to tell you.
Like, now, on the picture, I can see it, but
on the picture, he could see it.
Never see
but you didn't see it when you were looking at her.
No.
You have got to, Simone, you have got to see. You want me to tell her what it's about, Rashawn?
Yeah, you can tell her. Shallow.
So, listen. So, it's just the basis of it. Like, because I promise you, that's exactly what I thought about when you were describing this. So, I think, what is his name?
The dude that's
I want to say his last name is Black, right? Joe Black or something like that. I don't know. Jack Black. And so like Jack Black and Tony Robbins, you know who Tony Robinson is, like the motivational guru. Oh, okay. Like Tony Robbins, like he this guy, he's like really shallow. Like he only likes women for what they look like, and they have to be a small, petite physique and all of that. And so he meets Tony Robbins, and so I don't know what he does. I don't know if he hypnotizes him or something. And so he tries to teach him not to be like shallow, like you have to see a woman for like, more than their physical. And so he falls in love with this person. And like Cameron Diaz is the person that he sees. He sees like this perfect body, And then it's like when he snaps out of it, she is like, it's like in between, like you keep seeing what she really looks like versus what he sees because he's been hypnotized. And so, but it's just like a lesson in, just really getting to know one's personality, because like in reality, she's huge, but he never saw her that way. He couldn't see her that way at all. So it's just like kind of like a test in that. And so I'm telling you, when you were explaining that, like I was like, oh my God, like he didn't see any of that. Like this is real life.
And how love is blind because I never saw it.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
That
To this day, I'm still confused how I never saw this.
And it's crazy
Yeah.
because I got a picture. Like I have a family tree when you come through the foyer, and I need to update it because I need to put our pictures and stuff. That's a shame. I really do need to update it. But on that picture when I bought my house, you can see the weight I was, because at that time I was going through my weight loss journey. So at that time I probably had lost about 30 or 40 pictures, but I was definitely bigger in that picture when I'm standing in front of the house compared to the size that I am now. Even though I have put on probably about 40 or 50 pounds now, I was still way bigger in that picture. I was still in the high 300s. And he was like, babe, I just don't see it. I'm like, well, you saw it because you was with me, at that time when I was that big. So I don't know how you didn't see it.
I don't know.
But he never, like how he treated me then is of course he treats me, I guess I want to say better now because we're married. But the way he used to compliment me then is no different than how he compliments me now, even with, over 150 pounds of 160 pounds of weight loss. He still treats me the same way. He still always tells me I'm beautiful. And that's the same thing he did, years ago as well.
Yeah. I love it. What's your love language? What have you discovered from one another? Like, what do you think? What's Shawn love language? Like, how do you love on him? Like, what do you think he's more receptive to?
He's more of like we're both emotional people, and we both like to talk out our problems, and we're both affectionate. So we definitely love showing affection to each other. It don't matter if we in public. I mean, there have been times where my parents, like my mom and my stepdad, will be here, and we're all sitting in the living room, and his cousin Benny will come over, and we all sitting in the living room, and me and him are so caught up in our moment, like tickling each other or playing with each other. And then once that moment's over, and everybody looking at us, it's like, oh shoot, my bad, I forgot y'all was here. I mean,
so you're both like physical touch. Y'all love physical touch.
Our love language is definitely physical touch. Yeah. Physical touch. We always speak positivity, like we love to kiss each other. We always speak positive affirmations into each other. We haven't done it in a while, and we need to start back. But we had this thing where we had, I think I had orange sticky notes, and he had lime green sticky notes. And I'm looking at it right now. Pink. I had pink, you had green. And we would write positive affirmations. Yes, we would write positive affirmations to each other. So he would write something positive to me and stick it on my side of the bathroom, and then I would write something positive to him, and he was sticking on his side, and I was sticking on his side of the bathroom. And we used to date it, but it ain't gonna lie, it's been a little minute.
2021 still up there. Right?
Yeah, it's been a minute since we did that, but because you brought this up, I'm gonna grab some sticky notes out my little.
You know what? I may gift y'all some sticky notes. So hold on, I'm gonna give y'all some sticky notes.
Right, because I think that's what happened. I think we ended up running out because I ended up taking them all to the office once I opened up my office. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know, but some of them fell off now. But they up there, they hold it tight, and like he said, some of them from 2021.
Yeah. Is that something that you guys came up with together, or was that like you, Simone?
No.
What's her name? So one of your friends, Stacy?
It was my friend Stacy.
Yeah.
My friend Stacy. Yeah, she's a plus size model. She's actually a plus size model for Portia Lord. She's modeling for Portia.
Okay.
She would tell me how she would write positive affirmations on the mirror about herself in the morning. And so we kind of switched it up and wrote them about each other, and we would stick it on the side. So every morning I would look forward to seeing what he wrote, and every morning he would look forward to seeing what I wrote. And sometimes it wasn't even in the morning. It was whenever, like it could be at night. You just have to look for that sticky note because it was dated. So we definitely need to start back doing that. But yeah, my friends.
I love that. It's somebody in the comments that said that they're starting to do that. Royal Goddess Doula is saying that she's starting to do it.
Hey,
hey. Listen, because I do that, and I have my kids. Well, they we don't do it like on a consistent basis. We have our set affirmations that we look at, but like I love that, having it like done like continuously, like because it can grow, it can change, like take it off, put it back on, and take it off, and all of that. So Shawn, like in one of the final questions, because I know you started off by saying like when you first met her, because you said you don't like people, like you didn't like people, but you like, I like her. So like, do you feel that you changed for the better for her? And I'm only asking that because sometimes women, you know, we date someone and we think that that we can change them or whatever. And I think as I know for a fact, as I grow older, I know that it's not that. Like your goal is not to change someone, but to possibly find someone that's okay changing for the better for you and with you. And so I feel that, you know, if I'm dating a dude or if I see a dude and I'm like, he's not making changes or he's not softening up, he's not making himself emotionally available for me, I'm like, that ain't it. Like that, I cannot be your person because I feel like I'm a woman that I'm a Simone.
Yeah.
So, like, describe that. Like, why did you want to change for her?
I felt like, you know, it wasn't really changing for her necessarily. It was, you know, changing for me. You know, I can't go into this relationship the same person I was in my last relationship. I'm going to have the same outcome, you know. When that relationship ended, I had to look at the man in the mirror, you know, me. Every time I walk past the mirror, me. And, you know, I had a question I asked, who's going to answer that question? Me. There's a lot of questions I asked myself and a lot of answers I answered about it. And it was just, I had to learn to grow. At times I thought I was I felt like I thought I was a man, but emotionally I wasn't. You know, they always say men aren't supposed to cry and all this, and you know, they tell you that. But emotionally it's healthy for a man to cry. You know, if not, you're gonna have a violent mother around you, you know what I mean? Pent up aggression and everything, you know?
Yeah.
So I had to learn to, before I even get into another relationship with a woman, I had to learn to, you know, I had to learn my emotions. I had to learn myself, you know, as a man. You know, it's easy to say you're a man, you know, paying bills and this, that, and the third, but it comes with, you know, you gotta have the mental aspect of it too, you know? So mentally, I didn't have it. I didn't have it. The mental aspect to stay with a woman as long as I stay with a woman. The mental aspect to, you know, listen to a woman and be like, yeah, okay, you got it, you know, and not try to go back and forth with her. I didn't have that mental discipline like I should have, and you know, and I felt a lot of relationships like that, arguing and all that stuff right there, because I didn't have the mental discipline to take a step back and be like, you know what, let her have it. She getting mad, you know. It's just, you know. So I had to change. Yeah, she changed me because she's Aquarius. She's very emotional, so I can't be the aggressive person. She'll boo-hoo cry. So yeah,
oh my God!
Yeah, she changed me. She changed me to. I had to be the emotional person and let her be the aggressive.
Ask
you know?
him who has cried the most in this relationship.
Somebody got to
You know,
do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, somebody got to do it. You know,
who cried at the wedding?
She don't want to mess up her makeup. That's what she said.
Oh, whatever.
Makeup.
I'm not always wearing makeup. Hush. Oh, and this is so random, but I kind of just got a whiff of him as he set up and went back. Another thing I love about him is his smell. Like like it's so hard for me not to just like smell him on his neck. He always smells so good. I'm like, how do you, like this man working steak addicts all day, doing duct work, you know, climbing in basements, whatever. How do you come home and you, like, I know you've been to work because I can see your clothes got mastic tape, you know, all over it. But how do you come home and you still smell like your cologne? And he just has a natural scent about him, like the pillows that he sleep on.
That's some pheromones. That's some pheromones, girl.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Like his car smells like him. Like he just always smells good.
Yeah, I know she probably be all in your closet when you go. Just be smelling everything, shirts, everything.
It's so hard to be this close to him and not be sniffing on his neck.
I feel you. I feel you. Like I'm not above saying that I'm the same type of way. So like
it's so hard. His neck is real close. It's really hard not to be a vampire right now.
So before y'all get into a makeout session on the Jazzie Conversation with Jazz podcast, listen. I'm like, ooh, what we started here? We about to take it to the after dark side. Like, what right. We're about to do the uncut version. Okay.
make no
But
sense.
listen, so Simone, like, tell me where you see your relationship growing. Like, what do you want to see this relationship look like?
I want to see us moving from, this is going to hurt my heart to say this because this house is my baby. It was the first house I bought. But I want to see us moving into something bigger and something that we're purchasing together. Because a lot of people don't know. You want me to say it? So we are expecting. So we're gonna be having our child together, and I just want like us to have our own thing, because I don't ever want him feeling like this isn't his house because he didn't help purchase it. Even though he didn't help purchase it because we wasn't together, he definitely helped maintain it. You know, he helps maintains it. So I want to see us grow into having our own house, preferably not in a HOA community, preferably on a couple of acres of land where we can have his garden so he can grow his fruit. So my son, because I don't want my babies to ever leave. So my son is in the garden too, my oldest son. I want him to be able to have his garden. And I just want us to have space, because I'm thinking we may have to get some farm animals because prices are going up. You know, so I'm thinking we may need a couple chickens, some pigs, and he knows how to gut and cut and all that stuff.
Just a old country
Like,
boy. Just a old country boy.
I love when he goes fishing, because he'll go fishing and he'll take the like one time he came home with this big behind. Okay, you can't even see. It was bigger than this. That bass was huge. He gave his mama some. He gave his daddy some. We ended up taking 4 days. But he took it out to the patio and he cut it up and did all of that right in front of my son, and my son got to help him. So he filleted it and all that. And like, it's just like, oh my God, like he's so dreamy.
And I am gonna get you. I'm gonna get you because I'm fighting back tears because I didn't know if you were gonna be on my podcast. But I'm like, oh my God, yeah, she's telling everybody. Like, I am so, oh my God, I'm so happy for both of y'all. Like, I didn't know that that's what y'all wanted to do. So when you said you were expecting, I'm like, what? Like,
it's like, there was only one reason, and I'm not going to say what that reason is. There was only one reason why I wasn't putting it out there. But it is what it is. You know, this is our moment. I know I want to spend the rest of my life with Shawn, and I know that he wants to spend the rest of his life with me.
And afterlife.
Right. And now we're bringing a baby. You know, this will be our first child. You know, God does everything for a reason. Because when I'm telling you, my youngest is 11 years old. And my oldest will be 19 in a few months. I did not.
So you're spinning the block on a whole lot of things.
Right. Like, I'm like, there's no way I can have more kids. And then next thing you know, it's funny that I heard somebody mention the date of February 25th. Was that you or was that my client from earlier? But I know I heard that date. You didn't say anything about February 25th? Okay, so that must have been my client. But that's the day that I supposedly conceived, and I've heard that date like several times today.
Oh wow!
Now he's praying for a boy. I'm praying for a girl. So those of you that are watching, you know, Team Girl, y'all put Team Girl in the chat. I'm like, if we have a girl, that will even it. He has a boy and a girl. I have 2 boys and a girl, so that will give us 3 girls, 3 boys. Like, it only makes sense.
Need a girl.
And his
Don't need to make sense.
That needs to make sense. Like, we need to have 3 and 3. You know, and the funny thing is he's always said that he wanted 6 kids. Yes. I'm like, listen, yeah, I'm not about to push out 6 kids. So collectively, we're gonna have 6 kids.
Right, exactly. Gonna blend and merge to make sense.
Yeah, we about to be the Brady Bunch up in this mug, okay?
I'm so proud of y'all. And listen, invite, because I gotta look. I was spoiled the babies. I love me some babies. Yeah. Like, and you got a babysitter. Gonna call Auntie Jazz. I got you.
So don't tell me no renege.
Absolutely. Listen, I was just with a baby this past weekend. I was like, oh my God, like, and I just would not let him go. Like, I'm a baby with her, I'm telling you. So I got you.
Okay.
I got you. So I would be remiss if I did not allow you, as we close, to talk about your business and how to contact you guys, what you guys have going on, so that we can support you. And I have loved this episode. Like, you guys are such a genuine couple.
Thank you.
Whenever you see one, you see the other. And I
Yeah.
love that for y'all. Like, I really love that for you guys. And I just, I wish you so much happiness and so much prosperity. Simone, you are taking off, my love. Like, you are doing your thing, and your husband is right there along the way. He's got his business set up, so he's making boss moves as well. And I love that for you guys. So shout everything out. Like, tell everybody how they can get in contact with you, what you guys got going on.
You go first, then.
My name is Rashawn. I run Ray's Heating and Cooling. If you want to get in contact with me and get your AC fixed or maintenance or diagnose any problems with your AC, you can hit me up, Rashawn Tucker, on Facebook, inbox me, or if you know my wife, get in contact with my wife, and she relayed the message to me. Like I say, I work on ACs, duct work. You need new duct work, filters, installs.
Mm-hmm.
I do it all, to tell you the truth. It really doesn't matter. I touch it all. If it ain't a car AC, I don't touch cars. If freezers, if you got a walk-in freezer, I do those too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Here go my wife.
All right, Simone.
My name is Simone Mcfarlane Tucker. My company is Glamour Tag Consultation Services. I am a notary. I'm a loan signing agent. I'm a wedding officiant. We do graphic design, flyers, business cards, websites, logos, full branding for your business, full business setup. We also teach business classes. We teach social media classes, so how to use social media to monetize your business. I also have a second company called I Am Simone Inc., where people hire me, where people hire me to speak at their events, typically about branding. I think I've done one motivational. It was one motivational.
Oh, yesterday?
No, February.
Oh, February.
Yeah. So I'm definitely open to motivational speaking, because I definitely have a story. Hey, Tanisha, my friend is on. But yeah, if I have a second company, I Simone Inc., you can hire me for niche speaking, or just motivational speaking to encourage other people. I do work with nonprofits, so my rates are a little bit different, lower for nonprofits, but for-profit companies, nonprofit. I really want to get into going to schools and speaking to teenagers, especially teen moms. As soon as I get, because I'm in the process of getting new photos and stuff with Lamar Pinnock, which is
Yes.
As soon as I get new photos and stuff, I'm gonna reach out to schools. I'm actually gonna be doing volunteering at it's called a risk club for kids who are at risk for getting into trouble. And my passion really is teen moms, teen parents in general, because I was a teen mom, and I want them to know that the world don't stop because you had a baby. If anything, let that baby be your drive to want more. Because Trey, the people always say, if I didn't have kids at a young age, my life would be like this. You don't know, it may be that kid that made your life the way it is. I definitely contribute my drive to my kids. If it wasn't for my kids, I have no idea what I would be doing, so that's my spiel. You can contact me on Facebook and Instagram, Simone Mcfarlane Tucker. You can also contact me through our 1-800 number that he always forget. So our 1-800 number is 877 882-5379. If you want Glamour Tag, it's extension 1. If you want Ray's Heating and Cooling, it's extension 2. And if you want I Am Simone Inc., it's extension 3. Essentially, all of them will lead you to me. Except Ray's Heating and Cooling, that extension 2 will lead you to him. But he is, just to give him his kudos and his flowers, he is amazing when it comes to HVAC. Like, he knows all the ins and outs. He knows how to install. He knows the ductwork, residential, commercial. He can do it all. Like, and he don't need no team. He don't need no backup support. He has all of his tools. So he ready. He ready, y'all.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna put all that information. I'm gonna repost it. And make sure that everybody has all of your contact information. And so I just want to thank you guys again. You guys are definitely that power couple to look out for. And so I cannot wait to watch this baby grow. I cannot wait to watch your relationship grow. And just thank you so much for being my special guest for episode 81, Rashawn and Simone. I love it. I love it. I'm so proud of you guys. And so listen, if you guys did not watch this live, you guys have got to make sure you come back and catch the replay. Make sure that you tune in to the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast, airing every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on IG Live. That's at Jazzie, Jazzie, Conversations with Jazz on IG, Facebook, and you can catch the replay on YouTube and all of your favorite podcast platforms. Subscribe, like, hit the notifications bell, and also leave me a review. Those of you who have been commenting on this live, unfortunately, it disappears once I post it. So go back, come back, and put some more comments. So thank you so much, you two. And I will see you guys next Monday for episode 82. Thank you, Simone and Shawn. Love you guys. Thank you.